So yesterday we were dealing about, I think you can hear me, right? Screen കാണാമല്ലോ അല്ലേ? Okay. So yesterday the topic that we started was with microcontroller operating system version 2. It's an RTOS, and we have seen the different features of this this RTOS. Like it was having, it is having a memory footprint of 20 KB. Then certain other features also. That is, it can handle up to maximum of 64 tasks. And similarly, we have seen some features of Mucos RTOS. And after that, we have started dealing with certain functions. And the functions mainly in 4 categories we will be dealing in this module. Like the system level functions that we have already seen yesterday. After that, the task service functions. So all these functions are separately asked in your question papers. We can see when you see your question papers, you can see all these questions asked separately. That is, you will be asked about the system level functions separately. You'll be asked about the task service function separately. So we have started with the task service function yesterday, and within that itself, the first one was creating a task. And the function that we used for that was OS task create. This was a function that was used in Mucos RTOS for creating a task. And it has some parameters also. Void task pointer. Then you had void. You have an optional data. These are the arguments that are passed within the function. Then OS stack pointer. And finally, you will be having an unsigned byte task priority. Unsigned byte task priority. So these are the parameters that are present inside this function. So this is the address of the task where the task starts. That information will be given in this task pointer. And this is an optional data. If we need to pass some data into the function, you can fill it over here. If there is no data to be passed, you can mark it as null. If no data is required, this is optional. This data passing is optional. If there is no data, you can mark it as NULL, null. And then the stack pointer address, in fact. And finally, you will be setting your priority. I think we have started with discussion about the priority values. So, and this priority value is very essential for the coming functions also. That's why I was explaining that yesterday. So I have mentioned about the system level priorities. The first, or you can say the highest priority, highest 8 priorities and the lower 8 priorities have been set or have been reserved for the system level functions. The highest 8 priorities and the lowest 8 priorities have been reserved for the system level functions, and the user level functions or user level tasks can be assigned priorities in between that. And my question to you is, yesterday we were discussing about the user level task 8, right? Today I'm asking you, what is the maximum number of tasks if the user level task is 12? I just want to get your answer. If you understood the concept or not. If the number of user level tasks is 12, I would like to get the maximum number of tasks supported by the system. If the user level task is 12, what is the maximum number of tasks? If you got the answer, you just tell it over the mic, or you can type, no issue. Yes. Anyone? What was the answer when it was 8? When the value was 8, what was the number of maximum task? Yeah, it was 24. When the user level task was 8, you got the maximum task as 24. So if that is the case, I'm setting the user level task as 12, then what will be the maximum number of tasks? And here you tell about the low priority and high priority. Here in this case, the number of user level tasks is 8. So the lower priority or higher priority 8 tasks, that is 8 higher priorities 0 to 7, they are dedicated for the system. Then you will be having the user task that will be from 8 to 15, and the upper, or you can say the lower priorities from 16 to 23. This will be for the system again. So this will be the highest priority 0, and you can set 23 as the lowest priority. So if that is the case, what will be the answer in this case where the user level task is 12? Will there be any change for the system level task having high priority system level task assigning difference on whether there will be any change in that? Always this value will be the same, right? Highest priority 8 in the 8 highest priorities it's given for system level task. So this value will be the same, that is 0 to 7. There won't be any change with that. 0 to 7 for system. And then 8 to 15, we are having 12 user tasks. So this value will go up to anybody responding? Yes. 19. Right? 8 മുതൽ ഇനി ഒരു 12 ടാസ്ക് നമുക്ക് യൂസർ ലെവൽ ടാസ്ക് ഉള്ളത് 12 ആണ് അല്ലേ? So we are start the first 8 high priority tasks will be reserved for the system, and after that you can set your user level task. That is from 8 to, since it is 12, since there are 12 tasks, you can set from 8 to 19. അല്ലേ? 8 മുതൽ 19 വരെ you will be having 12. You will be having 12 count. So this will be set for the user level task. And from 20 to which value? 20 to which value will be the lowest priority? എത്രയാണ് സിസ്റ്റം ലെവൽ ടാസ്കിന് വേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ എത്രയാണ് റിസർവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? For system level, we are reserving highest 8 priorities and lowest 8 priorities. Here you have assigned the highest 8 priorities. Now you need to assign the lowest 8 priorities. Lowest 8 priorities, user level, you are assigning the lowest 8 priorities. So what will be the value from 20 to lowest 8 priority? 20 മുതൽ എത്ര വരെ വേണം 8 priority എടുക്കണമെങ്കിൽ? 27, 20, 21, 22 അങ്ങനെ 8 priorities എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ 27 വരെ. So this will be again for system. So what will be the maximum number of counts? I mean maximum number of priorities. Maximum count will be, here in this case it was maximum task that was supported was 24. So in this case the maximum task supported will be 28. 28 will be the maximum number of tasks. Since we are having from 0 to 27, right? These values, this is actually for this particular parameter. This particular parameter set value discuss. And for a particular task that is defined by the user, this value for this example can be from 8 to 19. These two values ഈ unsigned byte task priority എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഏത് എക്സാമ്പിൾ? when I am considering it 12 user level task. Okay, is that clear? Clear ആണോ? ഓൾറെഡി ഇന്നലെ പറഞ്ഞാണ്. Okay, fine. And we have seen some response values also. I mean, what are the messages that will be displayed once we use this function OS task create. OS task create when the function use ചെയ്ത് കഴിയുമ്പം we will be getting some response messages like OS no, I mean like task no error and all. OS no error was there, then some other responses were also there. So that was all about OS task creating a task എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. Then after that, two more functions are there with respect to task. One is suspending a task. So the second one will be suspending a task. So this will be the second thing, that is suspending a task. For this, we will be using the function OS task suspend. OS task suspend. And inside the brackets, you will be using the priority value. Here we are not having much number of parameters. We are just having unsigned byte task priority. This will be the only parameter. This is pretty simpler when compared to that of OS task create. Suspending a task in the case, we are just having this function OS task suspend unsigned byte task priority. That is, we are actually creating a task with a priority. We are actually giving a priority value. Like, task create in the samayathu we are setting a priority value. And if we need to suspend or block a particular task, we can use this function. And we just need to mention the task priority over here. Suppose you have created a task with a priority 11, can be used. We have created a task by using a priority value 11. So if you need to block that particular task, you can use this function. Only thing that you need to do is OS task suspend, in brackets you need to mention the priority as 11. Then that particular priority task will be blocked or suspended. So simple. This is a simpler kind of a function. And similar to that, you'll be having one more. That will be resuming a task. Resuming a task. That will be the third type. For that, you will be using OS task resume. Again, in brackets, you need to mention the unsigned byte task priority, the priority number. So creating a task is there. Then you can use a function for suspending a particular task or blocking that particular task, and then resuming that blocked task. I mean, remember that this can be performed only for a blocked task. We cannot unblock or resume a task which is not blocked. So it should be ensured that the priority that you give over here is that of a blocked task. A blocked task in the priority value I can error message. You have got some error messages also. So task create in the we have mentioned about some error messages. So similarly here also you'll be having some error messages that we will discuss now. In the case of suspending a task, OS no error. This in fact says that we have succeeded in suspending a task, that we have successfully suspended a task without any error. Okay, if after using this function, if you are getting a message of this kind, that is OS no error, it means that you have succeeded in creating, you have succeeded in suspending a particular task. There is no error in that process. Okay, that is the first message. And then there is another message, that is OS prio invalid. I am telling about this particular function. OS task suspend എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഫംഗ്ഷനെ പറ്റിയാണ് പറയുന്നത്. Okay. OS prior invalid. That is another message. That is another display message that you will get. So that actually means this is OS priority invalid. That is, if the priority value that you give over here, if the priority value that you mention as the parameter is greater than, so നമ്മുടെ എക്സാമ്പിളിന്റെ കേസിൽ 8 യൂസർ ടാസ്ക് ഉള്ള സമയത്ത് നമ്മുടെ എക്സാമ്പിളിന്റെ കേസിൽ we had 8 to 15 assigned for the user level task, right? 8 to 15 assigned for the user level task. So in that particular case, our particular example case, if you are setting a priority value here as 16, it will be wrong. Right? It will be displaying a message as invalid. So if the priority value is greater than the user level task limit, then you will get a message like OS prior invalid. That is, in this example, in particular example, we are having 8 user level tasks. So if you are using a priority value greater than 16, that is, in particular function OS task suspend 16, that is wrong, right? 16 we cannot access. We have permission to access only from 8 to 15. So if you are trying to access a particular priority which is greater than the user level task limit, then you will get a message like this, OS prior invalid. I am telling all about this suspension. Okay, suspending എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ഫംഗ്ഷനെ പറ്റിയാണ് ഈ പറയുന്നത്. Resuming we will discuss later. Then another message that can be displayed is OS task suspend. Suspend prior. OS task suspend prior. This message will be displayed when the priority value does not exist. That is, if in our particular example 0 to 7, 8 to 15, and 16 to 23, where you have 8 user level tasks, if you are using a value 24, say you are using a value 24, which means that you are trying to access a particular task or a particular priority task which is not existing. Like 24 എന്ന് പറയുന്ന priority task that is not existing. So in that case, you will get a message like this. If you are trying to suspend a particular task that is not existing, then you will get a message like OS task suspend prior. That is, priority value doesn't exist. So these are all the messages that will be returned or displayed once you use the function OS task suspend priority. And finally, you will be having one more, that is OS task suspend idle. OS task suspend idle. That is, if we are trying to attempting to suspend a task that is idle or illegal. That is, we will not be able to suspend a task that is present in this priority level. So system level of task we cannot suspend them. We are not having any access to this system level task. So the only access for us will be in the user level task, that is from 8 to 15 in this particular example. So if you are trying to access or if you are trying to suspend a particular task that is out of this, then you will get a message like this, OS task suspend idle. You are trying to suspend an illegal task. So these will be the return values. This is the case with suspending a task. Then, clear or no? Shall we move further? Okay. So that was all about suspending a task. The next one was, as I already mentioned, it is OS task resume. OS task resume. In brackets, you will be having the priority unsigned byte task priority. This will be for resuming a particular task that is already blocked. So again, you will be getting some return messages like OS no error. What does this mean? This means that you have successfully resumed that blocked task. A task that was blocked is properly or successfully resumed. If that is the case, you will get a message like OS no error. Then OS prior invalid. OS prior invalid. That is, if you are trying to access, if attempting to resume a task with priority, this example case with priority greater than 23. In our example, 0 to 7, 8 to 15, and 16 to 23. In case, if you are trying to resume a task with priority greater than 23, then you will get a message like OS prior invalid. Then you will be having another OS task resume prior. OS task resume prior. This will be displayed if attempting to resume a task which is already resumed. If you are trying to resume a task which is already resumed, that is already it is unblocked, then you will get a message like this. The aim of this function is to resume a task which is in the suspended state. Suspended state the task resume this function use. If you are trying to resume a task that is already resumed, already unblocked task resume, you will get a message like this. Okay, it all depends upon the priority that you are giving. The only parameter that you are giving is priority, right? So if you have already resumed a particular priority task, and if you are trying to resume it again, you will get a message like this. Then OS task not suspend. Yeah, OS task not suspend. This will be a message that will be displayed once if you try to resume a task that is not suspended. Okay, I have already mentioned that you will be resuming a task that is in a suspended state. You should do that. I mean, if you are trying to resume a task that is not in a suspended state, then you will get a message like this. OS task not suspend. Attempting to resume a task which is not suspended. Attempting to resume a task which is not in a suspended state. So these are the three main task-related functions. Creating a task, OS task create, then suspending a task, OS task suspend, and resuming a suspended task, that is OS task resume. So you can give the necessary explanation. So this itself has been asked for 8 to 10 marks. You just have to mention these functions, and at the same time, you need to explain these things also. You'll have to explain with the, I mean, it's all about functions and how it works. And you can do that with the help of an example. Not necessarily 8 user tasks, and all examples are, but it should be properly written. If you are taking the example of this kind, you should mention that you are considering a case where the maximum number of tasks is 24 and the number of user level tasks is 8.
Sir.
Yes.
Sorry, high priority and low priority number epodu 8 ആയിരിക്കും.
ഹൈ പ്രയോറിറ്റിയുടെ ഏതാ നീ പറയുന്നത്? ഇതാണോ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്? നമ്മൾ ഈ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണോ?
സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന രണ്ട് എക്സാമ്പിൾ.
അതെ അതെ അതെ, രണ്ട് എക്സാമ്പിൾ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ എപ്പോഴും നമുക്ക് ഈ 0 to 7 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നിനക്ക് എത്ര യൂസർ ലെവൽ ടാസ്ക് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും ദിസ് വിൽ ബി യുവർ ഹൈ പ്രയോറിറ്റി ആൻഡ് ദിസ് വിൽ ബി മെന്റ് ഫോർ സിസ്റ്റം ലെവൽ ടാസ്ക്. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി ചേഞ്ച് വരുന്ന എവിടെയാണ്? ലോ പ്രയോറിറ്റി 8 നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ടാസ്ക് ഇല്ലേ, ലോ പ്രയോറിറ്റി 8 ടാസ്ക്, അതിൽ ചേഞ്ച് വരും. കാരണം ദാറ്റ് ഡിപ്പെൻഡ്സ് അപ്പോൺ ദ നമ്പർ ഓഫ് യൂസർ ലെവൽ ടാസ്ക്. ഓക്കെ, ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു കോമൺ ഫോമുല ഉണ്ട്, ബട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇതിങ്ങനെ മനസ്സിലാക്കി പഠിക്കുന്നത് നല്ലത്. കോമൺ ഫോർമുല എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് യൂസർ ലെവൽ ടാസ്ക് എപ്പോഴും സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എവിടെ നിന്നായിരിക്കും? 8 നിന്നായിരിക്കും. ഷുവർ, അതിൽ ചേഞ്ച് ഇല്ലല്ലോ. നമ്മൾ നോക്കി രണ്ട് എക്സാമ്പിൾസിലും ഇറ്റ് വാസ് ഫ്രം 8 to 15 and 8 to 19, right? So user level task will be starting from 8. There is no issue with that. 8 to എവിടം വരെ പോകുന്നുള്ളത് you are having an equation for that. 23 minus 9 ആണോ 15? 23 minus 8, right? 23 minus 8 അല്ലേ? So the general expression is your user level task will move from 8 to നിങ്ങൾക്ക് total number of tasks എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 24 ആണെങ്കിൽ maximum count minus 1 minus 8 അവിടം വരെ പോകും ഈ വാല്യൂ. 8 to എവിടം വരെ പോകും അത് ആവശ്യമില്ല, നിങ്ങൾ ഇങ്ങനെ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയാൽ മതി. യു നോ ദ ബേസിക് ഐഡിയ. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇപ്പോൾ 12 ടാസ്ക് ആണ് ഉള്ളതെങ്കിൽ 8 to 8 plus 12 20 minus 1 ആ രീതിയിൽ അത് അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ പഠിച്ചാൽ മതി. യു നീഡ് നോട്ട് ഹാവ് എ ജനറൽ എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ ഫോർ ദാറ്റ്. യു ആർ ഹാവിംഗ് വൺ ബട്ട് യു ജസ്റ്റ് അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് ദ കൺസെപ്റ്റ്. ദാറ്റ്സ് എസെൻഷ്യൽ. ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് മനസ്സിലായല്ലോ. This will be always the same. 0 to 7 will be the same. There is no change in that. Only change will be in the low priority. മാറരുത് low priority, high priority. This is actually the high priority side. 0 is having the highest priority and that n will be having the lowest priority. You don't think like 23 is having a big, being a big value, it will not be the highest priority. It is always the lowest priority. അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. You need to explain this with the help of an example. നിങ്ങൾ ഈ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ പറയുമ്പോൾ it will be better if you write an example and explain. So that's all about സമയം പോകും. Okay, fine. We can move further. Then one thing that I need to mention is setting time in system clock. We are dealing with functions only in this module, in this part. ഈ പാർട്ടിൽ നമ്മൾ functions മാത്രമേ പഠിക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ. Then setting time in a system clock. For that you are having a function that is OS time set. OS time set. And as parameter you will be having unsigned int count. Count will be the number of clock ticks. Clock ticks in the count ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. This is a function that you use for setting a particular time in the system clock. And if you need to get that particular time, you can use a function getting time from system clock. Getting time from system clock. You can use a function OS time get. Get time or time get? Yeah, OS time get. Same. OS time get. And this particular function will be returning the number of current value of ticks. Etra ticks currently undannulladu, this function will return that value. Okay, this is actually used for setting a particular time for the system clock. So you can mention this will return. We are not having any parameters inside, so this will return current clock ticks. So will return the current number of clock ticks or current count of clock ticks. That will be returned by this function OS time get, and this will be used for setting that particular count. നമ്മൾ അങ്ങോട്ട് കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. We are setting a particular count. We are setting a particular count means after that it will be incremented. I will help you with an example for that. Now, since we have mentioned about the time, you need to know about some time delay functions also. That is also simple, not a big deal. OS time DLY. This is a function that is used. OS time delay. OS time delay is actually the function that you use for delaying. And in brackets, you will be having unsigned short count, right? And unsigned short delay count. Delay count. unsigned short delay count. And in this case, here actually we are giving the count as number of clock ticks. Clock ticks in the suppose each clock tick is actually clock tick in the system clock in the or tick mentioned. Okay, so suppose that one system clock tick is taking 10 milliseconds. One system clock tick is taking 10 milliseconds. You need to mention the number of clock ticks. Task you need to delay that particular task for a certain period of time. That is the case. That is a scenario right here. You need to delay a particular task for a certain period of time. And if you are using this function, the parameter that you need to mention over here is the delay counts. So here it is one system clock taking 10 milliseconds. I want a delay of 1 second. My aim is I need a delay of 1 second. What should be the number of clock ticks? What should be the number of clock ticks that I will give inside this brackets? One clock tick is 10 milliseconds. I need a delay in 1 second. I need a delay of 1 second. And here you will be mentioning the number of clock ticks corresponding to this 1 second. 1 second corresponding to the number of clock ticks mentioned. That is your delay count. Okay. So one system clock tick is 10 milliseconds. I need a delay of 1 second for that particular task. What should be the number of delay count? This is actually the number of clock ticks. What should be the value we mentioned? If I need a delay of 1 second, I need a delay of 1 second. What should be the count? Yes. 100 clock ticks. For every system clock tick, it's 10 milliseconds. Right? 10 millisecond means 10 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, I need, if I am multiplying this with 100, if I am having 100 clock ticks, I will be multiplying this by 100, that is into 10 raised to 2. Then you will be having 10 raised to minus 2 into, you will be having 1 second. Okay, so for getting 1 second, I have put the value of delay count as 100. Clear? So if I write it as OS time delay 100, in this example where one system clock is 10 milliseconds, I will be getting a delay of 1 second. Okay, here don't confuse that. Here you don't get confused. I mean, here we are actually mentioning the count of clock ticks. So our clock ticks, one clock tick separately define. We have defined it as 10 milliseconds, and for 1 second you require 100 clock ticks. So you'll be mentioning 100 over here. And that is the use of this function. And then one more is there. And in that case, you'll be directly mentioning the time. That is OS time delay HMSM. HMSM means OS time delay, hour, minute, second, milliseconds. And this is also, I mean, this is similar to this. We delay using the functions. Directly you are giving the clock tick count, right? So, but here you will be giving directly the time value. Hour, minute, second, milliseconds. You will be mentioning inside this parameter. You will be mentioning the hour, minute, second, and millisecond values here. For that, you will be using this function. OS time delay, HMSM. It is hour, minute, second, and millisecond. Okay, this is also used for time delay, for delaying a particular task. Okay, clear now? So you have, once you have delayed it, you need to resume that back, right? Only two options. Delay, if you are giving 100 clock ticks, then that means that that particular task will get a delay of 1 second. 1 second as a delay out. If we need to resume that particular task before our time period in the resume, you can use another function. That is, before completing that time period, our delay period completely, if you want to recall that or you want to resume that, now this particular task will be blocked. Time delay 100 or 1000, that particular task where you are using this function will be delayed by that particular time period. 5 hours. the task in which you are giving this function, that task will be blocked for 5 hours. It will be blocked for 5 hours. And if you need to resume that before that 5 hour, 5 hour complete ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ്, if you want to resume that, then you need to use another function, that is OS time delay resume. OS time delay resume. This will be used, don't get confused. This is actually used when you need to resume a particular task before it crosses its time delay. A time delay, it will be automatically resumed. Before that, if you need to resume, you will be using this function, OS time delay resume. And inside this, you will be giving that priority value, unsigned. ഏത് ടാസ്കിലാണ് നിങ്ങൾ ഡിലേ പെർഫോം ചെയ്തത്, ആ ടാസ്കിന്റെ പ്രയോറിറ്റി, unsigned byte task priority. That will be the parameter. Unsigned byte task priority. Is that clear? Clear on item functions? You remember the functions that we have discussed today? We have discussed about OS task create for creating a task. Then we have discussed about OS task suspend, that is for suspending a particular task. And the only parameter that you use in suspend and resume are priority values. Then for resuming, you use OS task resume. And the corresponding messages that will be displayed also, we have seen that. After that, we have seen time functions, OS time set, OS time get, and then the time delay functions. We can delay it either by using the clock tick count or by directly using the hour, minute, second, millisecond values. And for resuming that particular task, you can use OS time delay resume. Clear on it? I mean, these are very important, simple karyangalana, but these questions will be directly asked. You can see the question papers, and I will show you question papers. The question will be like, explain the task service functions. That will be the question. That will be for 10 or 8 marks. You can directly write this and get the marks. Clear? The clear ആണോ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത്? Okay. Then you can mark your attendance. Okay, thank you.